I want to start with Kyrsten Sinema because at a time when the Democrats were about to take the Senate 51-49, she decides to leave her party. Now, there's a couple reasons behind this. She has an election coming up in 2 years. She was going to be challenged from the left. And we've seen this a couple times. We saw it with Joe Lieberman. We've seen it with Angus King in Maine when he left the Republican Party, and he might have been challenged from the right. The first thing I asked when I saw this news this morning, and my brother texted me, I said, is she still caucusing with the Democrats?
Yes.
And the answer is she plans to keep her committee seats. She's no longer going to attend Democrat caucus meetings, which Bernie Sanders and Angus King, the other two independents, do. They effectively are Democrats for purposes of Senate math. She doesn't even know if her desk is going to stay on the same side as the Democrats in the U.S. Senate.
But one other thing that is clear, and I think that we've got to recognize here, is at the end of this process, when she decides, she could caucus with the Republicans if she wanted to, or not caucus with anyone. The question will be, will she keep her committee seats? And that's going to be the great challenge.
You can really only do this if you've been established. If you're an Angus King from Maine, if you're Bernie Sanders from Vermont, if you were Joe Lieberman from Connecticut, he did this as well when he was challenged from the left.
Yep.
So I think she said, I'm going to vote the same way, which is still pretty liberal, but a little bit better on issues like border security and issues like that, that she just felt she was never really a Democrat in the first place.
Of course, the Republicans are going to take over the House of Representatives on January 3rd by, it looks like somewhere between 3 to 5 seats. Yep. So they'll pick a majority leader. It looks like it was Kevin McCarthy.
Yep. And
they will move forward. So that is the block and tackle of legislation initiatives. Sure. We did lose, the Republicans did lose the Senate even 50-50 on the committees. That's a problem. The interesting dynamic is, will this change that? And that's going to be totally up to Kyrsten Sinema.
And what I think it does show is, like Tulsi, there is a very narrow person politically to match up with the Democrat Party. And you have to, especially when you're a U.S. Senator, I think maybe in the House it might be a little different, but at the Senate level, when you're one of 100, you have to match up with all of the state party and the national party, which is very far left. And if you don't match up with that, they want you out. For groups like ACLJ, and we're nonpartisan, but we're seen as a conservative group,
right?
Her staff would usually be very careful about engaging because they're part of the Democrat Party. This opens us up to be able to even go to Kyrsten Sinema. Say, you're not, but you're not, just say you're not part of this party, that party. So if there's like you said, specific issue, which we know we could work with her on, whether it's border security or the filibuster issue, I think this opens up her staff to be able to communicate with us and not feel like they are going to get in trouble for even taking a phone call from the ACLJ, which is the case on most Democrats.